Dear students, in this session I will explain theorem on range space and very important theorem, rank nullity theorem. So first we see the theorem on range space. What is the range space? The range space is R of t, denoted as R of t, which contains elements t of alpha such that alpha belongs to u. Here t is a mapping from u to v, and u and v are the vector spaces. Now we see the theorem statement. Let t maps u to v be the linear transformation. Here you write u of f. So that means u is a vector space over the field and v is also vector space over the same field f. With the linear transformation and u is finite dimensional vector space if u is finite dimensional vector space. Then range space R of t, range space of t is finite dimensional vector subspace, finite dimensional subspace of vector space v of f. So see the statement, that is, let t maps u of f to v of f be the linear transformation, and if u is the finite dimensional vector space. Here u is finite dimensional vector space. That means it has a finite basis. And then we have to prove range space of t, that means R of t. Range space of t is R of t is finite dimensional subspace of vector space v of f. So we have to prove this range space R of t is a finite dimensional subspace of v of f. Already we proved that R of t is a subspace of v of f. Just we have to prove it is finite dimensional vector space. What is the finite dimensional vector space, students? Yes, that is, a set has a finite basis. A vector space has a finite basis, particularly at least one finite basis, then it is called finite dimensional vector space. So here we have to prove R of t has a finite basis, then it will be finite dimensional vector space. Proof: given that t maps u of f to v of f is LT, that is linear transformation, and u is finite dimensional vector space. Therefore it has a finite basis. That is, let it be S is equal to alpha 1, alpha 2, and so on alpha n be a basis of u. Range space R of t is defined as t of alpha such that alpha belongs to u. Now we have to prove that R of t is finite dimensional vector space. Finite dimensional vector space. So for this we have to prove it has a finite basis. So the R of t means which contains images of the alphas. Alphas are belongs to U. Here U is the domain of the transformation. So here alpha 1, alpha 2 and so on alpha n are the elements of U. So here then R of t contains in particularly the let consider some other set that is only the images of the in particular alphas. Consider this set S dash is equal to, those are T of alpha 1 comma T of alpha 2 comma and so on T of alpha n is obviously is a subset of R of t, that is range space. So now we have to prove this set is a basis of R of t, then it will be then R of t is finite dimensional vector space. Now first of all we have to prove this is it means it is spans S dash spans R of t. Then every element of R of t expressible as the linear combination of T of alpha 1, T of alpha 2 and so on T of alpha n. Now let beta is belongs to R of t. Then beta, there exists some other element alpha belongs to U such that T of alpha is equal to beta, because R of t contains t images. So for this beta there exists some other element alpha belongs to U such that T of alpha is equal to beta. Here alpha is belongs to U implies alpha is belongs to the L of S, means here U has a basis, that is S. That means L of S is equal to U. Here S is the basis of U. By the definition of a basis of U, L of S must be equal to the U. So alpha belongs to L of S. That means alpha can be expressed as a linear combination of the elements of alpha 1, alpha 2 and so on alpha n. L of S means this set contains linear combinations of the vectors S. So here alpha is also can be expressed as linear combination of vectors of S. So here S contains alpha 1, alpha 2 and so on alpha n. So alpha can be expressed as there exists some scalars a1, a2 and so on an. There exists a1, a2 and so on an is belongs to F such that alpha is equal to a1 alpha 1 plus a2 alpha 2 plus and so on an alpha n. To take both sides, T of alpha is equal to T of a1 alpha 1 plus a2 alpha 2 and so on an alpha n. Now T is here in our hypothesis, T is linear transformation. T is linear transformation. Therefore, this can be written as a1 into T of alpha 1 plus a2 into T of alpha 2 plus and so on an into T of alpha n. So T of alpha is beta. Here T of alpha is beta. So beta is a linear combination of T of alpha 1, T of alpha 2 and so on T of alpha n, where a1, a2 and so on an r belongs to F. Therefore beta is linear combination of vectors of T of alpha 1 and so on T of alpha n, where a1, a2 and so on an is belongs to F. So it is belongs to the L of S dash. That means every vector in R of t expressible as a linear combination of t of alpha naught and so on t of alpha 1. So R of t has a basis. Therefore R of t has a S dash is a spanning set of the R of t. Therefore S dash is spanning set of R of t. Hence R of t is finite dimensional vector space. Obviously it is Li set. Therefore S dash is basis of R of t. Hence R of t is finite dimensional subspace of V of f. So we have to prove here R of t is also range space is also finite dimensional subspace of the vector space V of f. Next theorem is very important theorem. The theorem has a name that rank nullity theorem. So dear students, be mindful about this theorem statement also, because this theorem has name has rank nullity theorem. Rank nullity theorem. Dear students, you will have a question in question paper as state and prove rank nullity theorem. State and prove rank nullity theorem. So you will be mindful about the statement also, because the theorem has a name that is rank nullity theorem. Statement. Let T maps U of f to V of f be a finite dimensional V of Bf linear transformation. Be a linear transformation. The T maps U of f to V of f be a linear transformation, and U is finite dimensional vector space. U is finite dimensional vector space. Then rank T plus nullity T is equal to dimension U. That is, rank T is denoted as rho of T, nullity of T is denoted mu of T is equal to dimension U. This is rank nullity theorem. Let T maps U of f to V of f be a linear transformation, and U is finite dimensional vector space. So then we have to prove that rank of T and nullity of T plus nullity of T is equal to the dimension. Here dimension means the number of elements in any basis of U. The number of elements in any basis of U is called the dimension of the subspace. And rank is defined as dimension of R of T. That is, the dimension of a range space is denoted as rank. Now this is also stated as dimension of R of T plus dimension of N of T is equal to dimension U. Dear students, write here dimension r of t plus dimension n of t is equal to dimension u, that is rho of t plus nu of t is equal to dimension u. Here rho of t means rank t, nu of t means nullity. So rank is dimension of r of t and nullity is dimension of n of t. What is dimension? The number of elements in a basis of R is called the dimension. So here dimension of R of t plus dimension of n of t is equal to the dimension u. So we have to prove dimension of R of t plus dimension of n of t is equal to dimension u. Proof. Given that T maps U of f to V of f is linear transformation. Range space R of t is denoted as R of t is equal to T of alpha such that alpha belongs to U, and nullity means null space n of t, null space n of t is equal to alpha belongs to u such that t of alpha is equal to 0 crown. So here we have to prove that, and given also u is finite dimensional vector space. Dear students, right here this again I repeat the statement of this theorem. Let T maps U of f to V of f be two linear transformation and U is finite dimensional vector space. Then we have to prove dimension R of t plus dimension n of t is equal to dimension U. So don't write this. Don't write this. Dimension R of t plus dimension n of t is equal to dimension U. Dimension R of t is denoted as nu of t, rho of t, and dimension n of t is denoted as nu of t. So dimension U is equal to dimension U. So the statement is vector space, then dimension R of t plus dimension n of t is equal to dimension U, that is rho of t plus nu of t is equal to dimension U. So don't write this. That is dimension R of t plus dimension n of t is equal to dimension U, that is rho of t plus nu of t is equal to dimension U. Now prove that dimension R of t plus dimension n of t is equal to dimension U. Now here U is finite dimensional vector space. We know that n of t is a subspace of n of t, that is null space, is a subspace of what? Subspace of U of f. Already proved that R of t is a subspace of V and n of t is a subspace of U of f. So here U is finite dimensional vector space. In our theorem, U is finite dimensional vector space. Therefore, n of t, the subspace of a finite dimensional vector space is also finite dimensional. So n of t is also finite dimensional. That means it has also finite basis. It has finite dimension. It has a finite basis. That implies n of t has a finite basis. Let it be finite basis. Let it be s equal to Let it be S equal to set containing alpha 1, alpha 2 and so on alpha n, alpha k, we take suffix k, be the basis of n of t. So in that set has k elements, so it is the basis of n of t. Therefore the number of elements in any basis of vector space is called dimension. Therefore dimension of n of t is k. Now here S is the basis of n of t. That means it is a subset of u, because n of t is subset of u. Obviously this is also subset of v. But here this is basis. Basis means it is linearly independent set and it is a span set for the n of t. First of all, it is linearly independent set. Therefore, since S is subset of U and Li set, that means it is linearly independent set. So we have one theorem, that is basis extension theorem. That theorem tells about we have a Li subset of the vector space, then S itself a basis of V, or S can be extended to form a basis of V. We have a vector space and S is a Li subset of V. Then we have some Li, that means linearly independent set of V. Then that theorem tells about, obviously it is itself a basis of V, or it can be extended to form a basis of V. Here already S is a basis of n of t and it is Li set. It is also subset of U. By basis extension theorem, it can be extended to form a basis of U. But here S is subset of U. So S can be extended to form a basis of U by basis extension theorem. Implies S can be extended to form a basis of U by basis extension theorem. Let it be S1 is equal to alpha 1, alpha 2 and so on alpha n, some more elements theta 1, theta 2 and so on theta m. Let it be basis of U. Therefore this is basis of U which contains elements k and m, then k plus m. Total elements of this set are k plus m. Therefore dimension of U is k plus m. Now here we prove the theorem. Our main aim is that dimension R of t plus dimension n of t is equal to dimension U. That is the equation. In this, these are integers, because dimension means it is an integer. So here we have two values in that equation. Those are dimension n of t is equal to k and dimension U is equal to k plus m. For example, put these values in equation, then dimension R of t, don't know this value of R of t, but we have dimension R of t is k and dimension U is k plus m. So we have right hand side value is k plus m, right hand side value is R of t plus k, then we get from this equation dimension R of t is m. So we have to prove that the dimension of R of t is m. Dimension R of t is m. So when the dimension R of t will come, R of t has some basis which contains some m elements, then dimension R of t is m. So we consider a set with m elements, that is to show that is a basis of R of t. Dimension is equal to k plus 1. Therefore we enough to show that show that dimension of R of t is m. Let us consider this set S2 is equal to, here R of t is the t images set. Therefore, here alpha 1, here theta 1, theta 2, and so on, theta m and are all the elements of U. So, here you have a suffix m. So, you take t images, t of theta 1, t of theta 2, and so on, t of theta m. So, now we have to prove this set is a basis of R of t. Then, dimension R of t is m. Therefore, here S2 has the m elements. So, our aim is S2 is basis of R of t. So, first we have to prove it is Li set. That means linearly independent set. Linearly independent means you take a linear combination with these vectors. That implies we have all these scalars are zeros, then those vectors are linearly independent vectors. We take here S2 is set contains t of theta 1, t of theta 2, and so on t of theta m. To prove, first side heading, to prove S2 is Li, that is linearly independent. We take scalars. There exist scalars a1, a2, and so on, am belongs to f, such that a1 theta t of theta 1 plus a2 t of theta 2 plus and so on, am t of theta m is equal to 0 crown, because here the equation has t images or the elements of V. So, V has 0 element is 0 crown. So, we take here 0 element is 0 crown. Here T is given that our theorem T is a linear transformation. Therefore, this can be written as T of A1 theta 1 plus A2 theta 2 plus and so on AM theta m is equal to 0 crown. Here T of something is equal to 0 crown. So, n of t contains alpha belongs to U such that T of alpha is equal to 0 crown. So, here also T of alpha is equal to 0 crown, then alpha belongs to n of t. So, then this linear combination must be belongs to n of t. Here n of t is null space, it has a basis S1. Thus, it is belongs to is equal to L of S1. That implies A of theta 1 plus A2 theta 2 and so on AM theta m is belongs to L of S1. That means it is belongs to the linear span of this set S1. And that means this vector can be expressed as the linear combination of the vectors of S1. Therefore, A1 theta 1, A2 theta 2 plus and so on AM theta m can be expressible as linear combination of vectors of S1. S1 contains alpha 1, alpha 2 and so on alpha n. Therefore, there exists B1, beta 2 and so on Bk belongs to F. Therefore, A1 theta 1 plus A2 theta 2 plus and so on AM theta m can be expressed as B1 alpha 1 plus B2 alpha 2 plus and so on Bk alpha k. Now this equation can be written as left side to left side, then AM theta m minus, that means we write as plus minus b1 alpha 1 plus minus b2 alpha 2 plus and so on minus bk alpha k equal to 0 bar. Now this is a linear combination of the vectors thetas and alphas. So in our hypothesis, this set S1 contains alphas and thetas. That is, set is basis of U. So it is linearly independent set. So we have a linear combination with the vectors alphas and thetas is equal to 0 bar. These vectors are linearly independent vectors. So in this equation all these scalars are zeros because S1 is linearly independent set. We have all these scalars zeros. And so on am is equal to 0 and also b1 is equal to minus b1 is equal to 0 minus b2 is equal to 0 and so on minus bk is equal to 0. That means b1 is equal to 0, b2 is equal to 0 and so on bk is equal to 0. First of all we take a relation, that is linear combination a1 t of theta 1 plus a2 theta, t of theta 2 plus and so am t of theta m equal to 0 crown. Because we have to prove S2 is linearly independent set. S2 contains the vectors t of theta 1, t of theta 2 and so on t of theta m. So take a linear combination with the scalars ai's. So here we get the scalars a1 equal to 0, a2 equal to 0 and so on am equal to 0. Then in this relation we use t of theta 1, t of theta 2 and so on t of theta m are the vectors. Those vectors are linearly independent vectors. That implies t of theta 1 comma t of theta 2 and so on t of theta m are Li vectors. Then S2 is Li set. So next we have to prove L of S2 is equal to R of t. Then dimension R of t is m. So first next side heading we have to prove L of S2 is equal to R of t. We prove that L of S2 is equal to R of t. So every linear span is a basis of R of t. Obviously every linear span set is a basis of subset of R of t. So now we have to prove R of t is subset of L of S2. So we take an element in R of t. It is also an element of L of S2. Then R of t is subset of L of S2. So let beta is belongs to R of t. Then there exists some alpha belongs to U such that t of alpha is equal to beta. Therefore alpha belongs to U implies U has a basis, that is L of S1. Therefore alpha is belongs to L of S1. That means alpha can be expressed as the linear combination of the vectors of S1. Then there exists, already we used AIs and BIs. So we take another scalars CIs and DIs belongs to F such that alpha is equal to C1 alpha 1 plus C2 alpha 2 plus and so on Ck alpha k plus D1 theta 1 plus D2 theta 2 plus and so on Dm theta m. We apply T transformation on both sides. Then T of alpha, T of linear combination. Here T is linear transformation. In our hypothesis T is linear transformation. So this can be written as C1 into T of alpha 1 plus C2 into T of alpha 2 plus and so on Ck into T of alpha k plus D1 into T of theta 1 plus d2 into t of theta 2 plus also on dm into t of theta m. So here t of alpha, that is beta. We have alpha 1, alpha 2, and so on alpha n is considered as a set S. That is the basis of R of t, n of t. It is a subset of n of t. N of t means that set contains alpha belongs to U such that t of alpha is equal to 0 crown. That means every t of alpha 1 is a 0 crown. Then those are will be in R of t. So on t of alpha k is also 0 crown because S is subset of n of t. So here we take t of alpha n is 0 crown, 0 crown. We get d1 t of theta 1 plus d2 t of theta 2 and so on dm t of theta m. So beta, we get a relation beta is equal to d1 t of theta 1 plus d2 t of theta 2 and so on dm t of theta m. So it is a linear combination of vectors of t of theta 1 and so on t of theta m. T of theta 1, t of theta 2 and so on t of theta m contains those elements in S2. That means it is belongs to L of S2. So beta is belongs to L of S2. Here we taken as beta is an element of R of t, but here we have beta is belongs to L of t. Therefore R of t is subset of L of S2. Therefore L of S2 is equal to R of t. Then first we proved S2 is LA set, and here S2 is a spanning set of R of t. Then S2 is basis of R of t. So the set S2 contains m elements. Therefore dimension R of t is m. So we proved the equation that dimension R of t, we have dimension R of t is plus dimension n of t. Dimension R of t is m, dimension n of t is k. This is the dimension of the U. Already we proved in theorem. So therefore dimension R of t plus dimension n of t is equal to dimension U. This is the rank nullity theorem, very very important theorem. So first we remember that U is finite dimensional vector space. So n of t is subspace of U. So we take n of t is also finite dimensional vector space. First we start with n of 2 has a basis that contain, we take any number of elements, some k, n or m. So here we take k is a basis of n of t. Then S is a subset of U because n of t is subset of U. Therefore it can be extended to form a basis of U. Then we get another basis, that is S1, which contains k plus m. Then it is enough to show that the dimension R of t is m. So totally the dimension R of t plus dimension n of t is equal to dimension U. So I tell about one more theorem, one more problem about this theorem, because we using rank nullity theorem we find rank nullity and range space. So problem, let T maps R square to R cube find range range of T, that means range of T. Null space, next rank, that is dimension of R of T, rank, and nullity, that is dimension of N of T. For the transformation, linear transformation, define T maps R square to R cube by T of xy is equal to x plus y comma x minus y comma y for all x comma y belongs to R square. So here we have to find range, that is R of T, and null space, that is N of T, and rank, that is dimension R of T, and nullity, that is dimension of N of T. For the transformation is given, that is T maps R square to R cube. That is a transformation defined by T of xy equal to x plus y comma x minus y comma y for all x comma y is belongs to R square. So first to write range space. What is range space? R of T can be written as T of alpha such that alpha belongs to U. So here we take T of xy such that x comma y is belongs to R square. Here we have the domain is R square, codomain is R cube. So we have T of xy has a image x plus y comma x minus y comma y such that ordered by xy is belongs to R square. So this set contains ordered traits. These ordered traits of the type x plus y comma x minus y comma y. So totally range space contained this type of vectors. Range space contains or consists of the type x plus y comma x minus y comma y type of vectors for ordered by xy belongs to R square. Now next, null space. Null space N of T is defined as, by definition, alpha belongs to U such that T of alpha is equal to 0 crown. Here we have domain R square, that is x comma y ordered by x comma y is belongs to R square such that T of xy equal to 0 crown. So we have a mapping, that is T of xy as x plus y comma x minus y comma y. So we remember that R of T is this set. Now T of xy is equal to 0 crown. That means here xy is x plus y comma x minus y comma y is equal to 0 crown is the 0 vector of the R cube, that is ordered trig 0 0 0. Now these ordered trig equal to the 0 vector, so each coordinate is equal. Therefore, x plus y is equal to 0, x minus y is equal to 0, comma y is equal to 0. Here we put y, we get y is equal to 0. Put this value in any of these equations, we get x equal to 0. Totally, here xy is a 0 vector. So, T of alpha is equal to 0 crown implies xy is 0, 0. So, for which the vector xy belongs to R, we taken here xy belongs to R. This vector satisfying this equation 0 crown, then that we get a value xy is 0, 0 only. So, n of t is contains only 0 vector 0, 0. It is 0 vector. Obviously, dimension of n of t is 0 because it contains only 0 vector. And dimension of u, here u means our codomain is r square. Here r square means the dimension of r square is 2. R square is 2. So, by here in this problem we have to find range, null space. First of all, range and null space is this one, that is which contains only 0 element, and rank. Now rank is dimension of r square. This is, we have to find that value. Here nullity is 0. For this rank we have to use the theorem, rank nullity theorem. Already proved that the theorem is rank nullity theorem. The theorem is tells about dimension of r of t plus dimension of n of t is equal to dimension u. Here in our theorem, in our problem, dimension r of t plus dimension n of t is 0. Dimension u means dimension r square. That value is also 2. So, dimension r of t is 2. So, by using rank nullity theorem. So, first range space is this one and null space is this one, and rank is here dimension of r of t is this is 2, and nullity is dimension of n of t. This is problem. Thank you.